What's up, everybody? We're back into topic 3, and I want to talk about the topic that I brought. I have made a channel in the Discord.
A Discord channel, if you so will.
Discord. It's a thread in the UFS channel. I talked to Rob, and I was like, hey, I had this crazy idea when it comes to teaching people how to play the game, and it is GOAT format from Yu-Gi-Oh! I think I've touched on this just ever so slightly, and I have taken and perfected my GOAT deck list.
It is here.
I have made a GOAT's deck. You got the message too as well? I sent it to you.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you just not
I did. And so what I want us to do, and I'm going to have Tyler put this in the description, or I'll put it in the description, or we'll put it up on screen. That would actually be like the coolest. I want to talk about the idea of this for you two who have played GOAT format in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is GOAT format is not about synergy, or it's not about archetypes. It's about good fucking cards.
Yeah, generically good cards.
You take a bunch of good fucking cards and you cram them in a deck, and then you play the game.
Yep.
So what I have done, if you've noticed up on the screen, or if you're following along on Ultra, is I have taken and I have said I've abandoned symbol chaining, and I have taken and made a perfect deck. There's the exact same amount. There are 3 high attacks. There are 9 high attacks. Is that true? Hold on. I think there are 6 high attacks, 6 low attacks. The rest are all mids, and the block zones are all even. So every one of your every low attack has a high, mid, and a low block. Every mid attack has a high, mid, and a low block, and every high attack has a high, mid, and a low block. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure about block zones, but they all at least have it. Every single keyword is represented. Well, so that gives you the whole deck as opposed to just the attacks, right?
Okay. And you only play one non-block attack, which is a mid.
And it's
Ryu's Shinku Udoken, your finisher.
We're playing as Ryu.
Yeah.
And I believe that's the best starting character.
Yeah,
The
I agree.
point of the deck, if you can look through all of this, is that it is meant to just play fundamental, good-ass UFS. That's the point.
Right.
Fuck symbol chaining. Fuck combos. The only thing that you're supposed to do is play attacks, play blocks. Use your foundations to pump your attacks. Use your foundations to minus their attacks.
Yep.
How do you feel about this way to teach somebody UFS? This is... Somebody sits down, and what made me think of it is during the pre-show, we talked about the structured demo decks coming back.
Yeah.
I'd actually rather see something like this come back, where it actually just abandons symbol chaining altogether. I think symbol chaining is actually bad for teaching the UFS because it locks you into doing a thing. It locks you into doing a thing a symbol does as opposed to playing the game. We showed Michael Lord Raptor. He has not made a non-air deck yet.
I made one and it was very bad.
And he didn't like it, and he was so stuck on it for the same reason that I was given Dr. Wily 1-dot under death, and then I kept playing death decks.
Yeah.
That's all I did. I didn't learn to play the game. I just played death. And it took me months and months and months to learn to play UFS, and so now I can play any symbol. I'm the universal fighter now. But so... Every card in here has an answer to every card, just like in GOAT format. If you played a GOAT, then I'll play the card that can swing 4 times.
Sure, a priest.
Right. If you played a Spirit Reaper, I'll play...
Nobleman a cross out.
Right.
Yep.
Like, there's one answer, singular copies of every answer in the game inside of this deck. Everything that we could possibly have, there's an answer for it. Is there a breaker card? Perfect. We have Profane Sanctuary. Are you attacking too much? We have Hanya. You have a stun card. We've got... Where is it? There's a card.
We've got God of Thunder.
God of Thunder. Like, you want to draw a card off of a Sagaki offering? I've got Venomous.
Yep.
Like, I haven't looked at the attack curve. Sealer of Evil looks really sick. Of just like, oh, I'm at -6, -3 damage. Oh, that Confronting Jet is very good. Knock it off.
Yeah.
Like, not to mention that there are some small combos in this deck. Like, we have not over Till You Die into, like, just reuse block ability.
Yeah. Well,
No, that doesn't quite work. Sorry.
yeah, that doesn't.
Dude, or like
My bad.
takedown, block it, play Kikisho, put the takedown, into your momentum.
Right.
Then play like Caltrops.
No, then play Ryu Shinku Hadoken, shove 2 more cards from your hand into your momentum, kill them.
Yeah.
That sounds sick.
Yeah, dude.
Uh,
Or you can go Takedown into Kikasho, into Fog Blanket, into Ryu Shin's Hadoken.
Nutty.
like there's some actual synergy inside this deck, but where to the point where I want to. And the goal is to take 2 of these decks that are exactly the same and put them up against each other.
That actually
So-
sounds like a lot of fun.
I'm going to stop talking. I want you guys to talk about this deck. Tell me what's good. Tell me what's bad. Tell me what's good. Tell me what's bad. Tell me what stands out to you.
So you have Design for Combat. Why don't you have Balance Fighter in here?
Because I actually don't want to reset speed. I actually think commit reset speed is actually too powerful in the format. In this little one. Just because my character just gives 1/1. Like, it's really hard.
That and, like, Ryu Shinku Hadoken is your main finisher, and, like, the way you finish a game with that card is by EXing it once or twice and then powerful a million. So you don't want them to just be able to block it for free.
Yeah, and there's only, like, a singular Foundation Destruction, which is homing missiles, and we only have one answer to it, which is, I think it's in here, right? Did I get rid of it? I might have gotten rid of it.
Ageless?
I thought Ageless was in here.
No, Ageless isn't in here.
All right, we might have to put that back in.
You got all the other Raiden Foundations in
Yeah, got me. No, but like it's just little stuff like that, right?
Oh.
Like, yeah, I think I think Balance Fighter is just too good.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
honestly, there's not a lot of discard except for Design for Combat, which is at a 1-of. So like if you see that cute little 2-card combo.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. Tyler, anything? Any thoughts?
My only thought was like the efficacy of Hanya.
Yo.
Like, is it any good actually? But it looks like there's definitely enough weapon cards in here that, like, you could utilize it actually rather than just have 1/1.
Originally, that was a Swordfish 2.
Okay.
Originally. But then I looked at the deck and was like, I actually don't want to waste 2 Swordfish 2s in this deck. It's a demo deck. I want to keep these 40 cards together. There's not a singular ultra rare. The hardest cards to get are Ryu Shinka Hadoken and Kokosho. Everything else is a common, uncommon, or rare. There is not a single ultra rare in this deck.
Even Hyperbomb?
Hyperbomb is like a platinum rare or whatever.
A platinum rare and
And-
a starter card.
And it was also
And then
prize
promo,
support.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
So like you can easily get this whole deck.
I'm sure we have a bunch on stores though.
I think like the hardest card for us personally is Let's Cut Loose, just because like we haven't accumulated enough to like spare 2 of them because everybody's playing those 3 symbols. But like yeah, Hanyo is in there for the other half of Ryu's bait of he wants to full block something once, and then he doesn't necessarily care because he wants to draw that extra card.
Sure.
And so it is a back and forth of, oh, you didn't do that thing, Ryu? Then I'll breaker 1 you for the turn. Oh,
Sure.
I didn't block this. End your turn a little sooner. It was more for the respond commit, but like if you happen to get a weapon, that's neato.
So, I like the concept.
Mhm.
Now, I don't think this will ever replace demo decks, and here's why.
Tell me why.
So, from a Jasco perspective, when someone is getting demoed, they're trying to teach them the entirety of the game, per se. So, removing an entire mechanic from the game is not an efficient way to teach someone.
You think so?
So, I think it's fine after they've already had the initial demo game to, like, get more nitty-gritty into the mechanics of the game.
To solidify.
Yep.
Like the information
To
that you
solidify.
just received.
So it's like, it's a reinforcer. So like this would be a good reinforcing tool. Like after they play a demo game, you pull out these 2 decks. Hey, we're going to play a very vanilla value, very nitty-gritty UFS game just to solidify these rules and make sure that you know everything.
So here's, if I were the head of Jasco, if I snuck into Ryan Pham's house late at night tonight, I've got my plane ticket and everything, and I took and I strangled him to death until his eyes popped out of his head.
Notice how many times we've said death on this segment.
What I would do is, once I sent out all of these demo decks, 2 each to every Premier store, or like gave these lists out, they're all shiny or whatnot. The first time I sat down and I demoed somebody, I'd say, hey, we're both going to play as Ryu, and I'm going to teach you how to play the game. Our foundations aren't going to do anything. The foundations are just there to pass checks. We're just slinging attacks at each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so the point is, I think the game's very complicated. And I know it. I know it's complicated because I just wrote a script on how to play UFS. Like I typed out, hey, here's how you play a turn, and my script is like 4 pages.
Yeah.
I played Foundations. You played Foundations. I played an attack. The game's over. 4 pages. It was incredible how much there was going on just on I built 4, you built 3. I slung 2 attacks at you. You only blocked 1 of them. 4 pages. What this is doing is this is teaching you what is an enhance as opposed to what's an air enhance, what's an earth enhance. This is just play. So it says first enhance on homing missiles, right? Yeah. Because of the word first, you have to do that first, or you don't get to play it at all. Oh, okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Enhance. I have to. It says 4 colon. Oh, in order to use that with Sagaki offering, you have to check a 4. Oh, okay. I'll check my 4. Oh, all right. Well, now hold on. I saw that check a 4 on Sagaki offering. So now in the next game that we're playing, when I see OG Mecha Ninja, I know that check a 5 means that my meta attack gets a damage or gets a speed or whatever. Okay, cool. I now can correlate that together. Right?
Yeah.
The attacks, the point of this is when we first sit down and I'm teaching my mom to play UFS, I don't give a fuck about the symbols. I don't give a fuck about what the cards do. I care about the numbers because I got to get that other number a little lower. I got to get that other number to 0.
Yeah.
Right? And then after we've played these super basic baby decks, I then go, hey, here's Lord Raptor. Now that you understand how mechanics work, now that you get what an enhance and a response is, because there's plenty in both, there's all of it over. Let's do some stuff. This is what your character wants to do. Pew, play the game. And now you know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
As opposed to, hey, you're going to play as Goro from King of Fighters, and during your demo, you're not going to block because it's better for you not to block. That's a shitty way to play the game.
Yeah.
Is to like lock them into a character.
Right.
Yeah.
Or to lock them into a symbol.
Correct.
I can see that.
I
think... Go ahead.
I also think symbols don't matter until you get to the deck building portion of the game.
Totally.
That's what I was about to
So
say.
like, who cares what if the deck was all on symbol? They're not paying attention to that anyways because they're not even being taught that that's a thing they need to pay attention to.
And
because it's a demo deck.
as the person who's demoing, they're going to ask you, hey, what about the symbols? And say, doesn't matter right now. They've played for a week. Hey, I want to make my own deck. How do I do that? All right, well, you see these 12 symbols? You get to take and go on Ultra, click that symbol, click Standard, press Search. You get to take 60 of those cards and put them in a deck. You don't get to take and make a Death All Chaos deck under Yoshimitsu. You don't get to try symbol. You just don't get to. Me as your coach, me as the person demoing you, you don't get to dual symbol.
Right.
If you want to learn to play the game, you get to play one symbol, which means it doesn't matter what symbols. It doesn't matter deck building wise. You get to play all, or Death, or Chaos. Since this is the Yoshimitsu podcast.
What's up, everybody? Back on the Yoshimitsu treatment here.
The Yoshimitsu.
Yoshimitsu treatment.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, well.
He got punishment time, baby.
Definitely not stealing that.
Definitely not stealing.
Trademarked.
But does that change your mind at all about what I'm saying?
I like it. It's just it's a more advanced yet like simpler demo, because like in a demo they're not going to learn everything, because from the demo decks that I had saw last, there wasn't every keyword or every game mechanic in a sense in it.
Totally.
But like these will, and so I think it's a great learning piece, and I wish that this is how I was taught to play the game. But Raptor is also insanely easy. And it says I don't have to care about your ease.
Yep.
And I get,
It's so easy at One Worlds. Shout
Yeah.
outs to Ashley.
hey,
Hey.
no offense. No offense.
What? No
Deck's-
offense,
Deck's
Ashley.
good.
You're garbage.
Whoa.
You don't
Whoa,
deserve it. Travis is throwing things. He's so mad at you. Just kidding, Ashley. We love you. You were saying.
So I still think that Jasko would not implement this merely because their demos are so based on the cores of what they're trying to sell the game for. So, like, when you look at a card, the first things you're going to see are the name and the symbols.
Oh, when you look at a card, the first thing you see is the picture.
Well, the picture, but the name
And
the
Ryu's like,
symbols.
Flexing on them.
So, when you look
Chun-Li's
at that,
when I look at it,
when you look at it, you see those things, and you look at the name, oh, this is his special move. Oh, that's cool. You look at the symbols. Oh, man, these are some pretty neat-looking symbols because they all have their own special
artistic flair.
artistic flair, correct.
The death symbol scared me when I first saw it. Whoa, it's so realistic.
So, like,
Arr.
that alone can draw people in. So, like, when you tell someone to just ignore that,
Well, hold on. I don't think anybody's drawn in by the symbols of a card.
I definitely was.
So did you have like not any previous knowledge of what any of that meant, or were you like, oh man, this thing has a fire on it?
I
It's real cool.
looked at the symbols and I said, man, these symbols look really cool.
I'm going to law school. I need to know what this scale means. It means order. I'm hooked.
I want to play the mountain deck, Dad.
But, like,
Mountain and wind.
Whoosh. Sometimes it's just that vanilla. Like,
I want the buttons.
Okay, all right. That's really rad. My deck has all 12 symbols. My
yeah,
deck has got symbols out the wazoo, right?
I understand. But if you're centralizing something, normally, unless you're in a demo deck, all these cards have the same 3 symbols.
Yeah.
So the person playing it gets to look and say, oh man, which one of these 3 symbols looks the coolest?
And that, well, so like again, that only goes to deck building though. Like
Yeah.
that's the only time it ever matters. It's like, well, which one is
So,
this
I'm-
one looks the coolest?
I'm trying to think from a Jasco perspective.
Now, so the argument you have here is this is not a legal deck. That's the argument you could be making right now. Is
Pretty much.
it does not symbol chain. We cannot sell this and be like, hey, go to a tournament.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I, Tamron Dallas Cardwell, could not go buy a Mortal Kombat starter deck, one of the cool turbo decks, unwrap my Sub-Zero deck, shuffle it up, and go play in standard.
But you could play in Turbo.
But that's not a format, actually.
But you could play in Turbo.
You're right. I could go play in turbo, but
A Jasco supported format.
But I could not go play in standard, which moots your point just ever so slightly. Ever so slightly.
Okay, so if I could help his point, I think my only problem with this deck is that if Jasco wanted to take an idea like this, they really couldn't because they can't put a real face on the deck.
So I'm not even saying that this has to be a 1999 deck that you're going to buy off the shelf, right?
Right.
What I'm saying is we have a beautiful Premier Store thing. We have a scout program. Give 2 of these decks to every scout and go, if you're going to play with me, hey, you, the scout, you have a 60 card Earth Vicious made and a 60 card Water Spike made. Don't play with those decks. That's not how you demo. Come and demo with this. Learn to play mana. Learn to tap and cast spells first. Learn to normal summon and set before, hey, I'm gonna link summon 5 times, and I'm gonna synchro summon and make Quasar. All right, this was our demo. All right, now it's your turn. Now let's play the game. That's not how you teach anybody any card game. Hey, we're both going to search our deck for our favorite basic Pokemon and slam it down. All right, now take 3 energy from your deck and put it in your hand. Let's demo. That's how we're going to learn to play the game. It's like, oh, every turn I get to attach an energy? That's what the deck does. As opposed to, did you draw shitty? Sorry, man. Sorry. You checked a 1 on your first turn. Coffee Stop was really nuts, man. It's really good in that Vicious deck, but you checked a 1. I'm going to kill you. That's not how you demo. It's just not. And this would just be a really good way to demo.
Yeah, so I think I do think, like, in a situation like this, it is a good way to demo. I think even if you do give like 2 copies to a store, or you give a list to a store and they make 2 copies, I still think it's a harder draw in, because they still, like, a player can't put like a true face on the deck. Like, oh yeah, I know that's that one Asian dude that is in that fighting game, right? When like they like Mortal Kombat, or like something else like that, or like they're more,
Honda is who you're thinking of.
That's Street Fighter, not Mortal Kombat.
but like, because it is a GOAT deck, there's not one real prominent card or
Totally.
Character.
Which is
Or
part
character.
of the beauty of UFS, right?
which
like-
is, yeah, because like I'm playing Spike, Taki, and Torn cards in my deck, and I love it, and that's partly how I sold my buddy upstairs who's learning how to play the game right now.
Shout out to Jeff.
Shout outs to Jeffrey Tuzio.
I think this is a very good first look at the game, and then the Spike and Vicious is the second look at the game.
And I think I definitely do think it's good. I think it's a good idea, and I think honestly that like stores should have something like this instead of like the 2 turbo decks.
I will say, I think any person who's scouting should have something like this, and then should have two
Real
Jasco demo decks, and you show them this, and then if they want to continue playing, okay, now we'll move on to the second part of the game where it's a lot more focused on one thing, which is, here's Vicious wants to do this. All right, now that you know how to play the game, learn how to
Play
do what the
this
deck
specific
wants to
deck.
do. Yeah.
I've got every mechanic in this. Here's another selling point. So my last 2
I'm
points,
sold.
and then I'm done. I want to sell them.
Oh, okay.
right. This because like I've been racking my brain. My sweet baby boy Ryan Pham is constantly like, how do I get more people to play the game? It's all word of mouth. That's all we can do, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna type
All
in
word of mouth and cool pictures of characters.
right. Nobody's gonna mash their elbow on the keyboard and accidentally type UFS and click enter and get a video, right?
Yeah.
and even if so, like it's not going to teach them how to play the game yet. I'm working on it. I have this demo deck, and it's got cards from every IP that we can have. I think sans, not including World of Endines.
Correct.
But I'm gonna draw Hyper Bomb and go, Mega Man's in this game, and I'm gonna go, fuck yeah, he is. You like Mega Man?
He's gone soon.
He's gone soon. But like you like Mega Man? Hey,
was.
we can replace all these Mega Man cards with Yu Yu Hakusho cards, right?
Yeah.
I really want to play the Cowboy Bebop card game. That sounds really fun. Okay, here, let me teach you how to play. This is Scorpion from Mortal Kombat? Yeah, that's my favorite fighting game. Heck yeah, man. That
man,
sounds great.
yeah.
After we get done learning how to play the game, I have a Scorpion deck in my bag. You want to play Scorpion? Holy shit. I love Raiden. I love Ryu. I love Ken, Chun-Li, Morrigan. These are my favorite cards. And they're all on the deck. And so they get to stare at all these pictures of all these sick IPs.
Yeah. So you know what would actually be really cool?
And then my last thing, I get to, after the demo, be like, hey, we just played a full match of UFS. The first game, you played just your attacks. The second game, you played attacks and foundations. What was your favorite part? What was your most memorable part of the game? Oh, it was that one time where I committed the card sideways, and after you give it like a huge stat bonus to something, I put it to printed -2. Perfect. Here's an Earth deck. That was your favorite part? That was your most memorable part since I had every mechanic?
Which mechanic did you like the most?
Which mechanic did you like the most? Oh, I played
yeah?
I played a couple of cards, and your whole board was turned sideways. Sick. Here's Sophidia. Let's play an order deck. The fun police is here, buddy, and his name is New Player.
His name is New Player.
His name is the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah. So I think actually it would be really cool kind of to build off of Tyler's idea of like the stages. So like it would be really neat if they printed like playmats, which were just the basic learning playmats, except they were colored after fighting stages from like Mortal Kombat, from Street Fighter, and it's like you go up these levels. So like, oh, I'm playing these 2 Street Fighter characters. I'll play on this Street Fighter mat that has the Street Fighter stage
Kazuki
on
Temple.
it. Exactly. The Kanzuki Dojo.
Yeah.
Now I'm playing in Mortal Kombat. I'll play in NetherRealm because I'm playing Scorpion.
Awesome. We're in Goro's lair now.
Yeah. Or Quan Chi's Fortress.
The Quan Chi's Fortress. But yeah,
Goes all the way up to the White House.
but like I think that would be really cool. Just like having these visual aids.
That
to
actually
go
sounds
along.
super, super cool for like, I'm down, I'm with you, except for the fact that like it's expensive.
Well, yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I think that's just a cool idea for them to do now and make money.
Yeah.
So
Just make a playmat that's a stage.
yeah, I mean that would be cool and something that I would definitely think about buying.
Is there like some cool picture?
So I mean, yeah, you could like do the playmat idea, or
Or-
we could take
Unless.
this sweet deck right here. Okay, I've been pitching this idea for a long time,
Hell yeah.
and I want you to do it, please. So you can take this cool goats deck.
Uh-huh.
You can take your last demo deck, and you can throw them up on your website as an interactive demo, and say, "Hey, this is the goats deck. We're gonna teach you basics of how to play the game." And you just don't have the symbols on there, and you don't have like words on the foundations, and then say, "Hey, I just taught you how to play the game. Well, here we'll play this demo of your Mega Man versus Skullman or
Proto Man.
whatever Proto Man."
Bass.
Sure, yeah.
Bass.
And so you can take what you already have, and then take this awesome resource that this gentleman here has made for you, and you could turn them into an interactive demo. And you could probably help so many people learn the game
For
B,
money,
B-
you can have this awesome resource for money. I'm just kidding.
so you can
$1.99 per play.
But so yeah, you can have it like as a great teaching tool. You can have it as a great like get you back up to speed if you haven't played in years.
I'm down.
And then like it's just like interactively like, hey, like I forgot like what was this keyword again? Go back to the demo and work it out through the demo.
Boop.
Yeah, that
And,
I agree.
And
Last minute thoughts?
It's fun and good.
Cool.
You should try it.
Good, interesting idea. I like it.
If you're a scout, you should maybe try this out.
I
That's your tagline.
would like to make these tonight if possible. I think that would be very, very cool. I don't know if we have the Let's Colors, but we can just proxy them maybe. Just play a couple like super fun turbo games.
Well, I'd like to test for real UFS because
Wow.
we have an event
Selfish
in 9 days.
I
Travis
think
over
this
here.
is the realest UFS there is.
And selfish Travis over here, not trying to help the new players, huh? Wow, go win your plane ticket, buddy. You'll be sitting at the PTC all by yourself.
I'm unsure about that.
All by yourself. Rockford's going to be the smallest PTC of the year because we don't have these demo decks made, and it's your fault.